Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Knit California podcast. My name is Leslie. I am Knit California here on YouTube as well as over on Instagram, and this is episode 13. Today we are going to be doing an update again on my fall knitting plans. I have one finished object, and we also have some maintenance that I need to take care of, and I figured it might be fun to bring you guys along while I do some of that. As we're talking about my projects, I'll let you know kind of what I mean by that, but I need to do a little blocking. I need to wind up some new yarn. I need to cast on a new project. And I figured it might be kind of fun to come along for this journey that I'm going to be going on this afternoon in freshening up my projects. So I am wearing, it's kind of ironic, I'm wearing a summer top that I finished back in June, and we're going to be talking about fall knitting, but it's, let me see, it's 84 degrees out, so it's hot here in the house, here in Southern California, so I am wearing a tank top. But this is the Thea tank, it's called the Thea top. There's a couple like short sleeve tank tops named Thea, so it's the Thea top. The designer is Suzanne Muller, and she's at Paula Strict on Instagram. But it's this cute tank top that I made in Sandnes Garn Line, so it's a linen blend yarn. I don't remember exactly what it is. Let me see. Let me look it up. Oh, that's right. It's a cotton linen viscose blend is what it is. And if you remember, I talked about this in one of the first couple podcast episodes. I wasn't really a fan of like the width here in the shoulder cover and the color. I still want to dye this using avocado skins and pits, but I haven't gotten around to it yet. But I pulled it out of the closet. I was like, hey, I'll just wear it for this podcast episode because I wore my cottagecore crop last time, so I figured I'd wear this time. But anyways, doesn't matter. That is what I'm wearing. I do want to start off with, oh, it's up here, my finished object. Dun da da da. This is my Oslo hat. So this is the Oslo Hat by Petite Knit, and the yarn that I used is Explorer Knits and Fibers Cashmere Cavern Sock in the colorway Woodruff, and you have to use two fingering weight strands held double. And you can see this little sun. This is where I was last podcast, and so I made all this progress. I guess I only had like a couple more inches left, and then the decreases. Here's what the top looks like. The decreases are interesting because you're actually like knitting this way. And so on the left side of that stitch, this side is a knit two together, and this side is like a slip one, knit one, and then like slip stitch over and off, kind of like a bind off. And I've never done that decrease before, and it kind of, I mean, it looks very different from a knit two together. So on my next hat, I think I'll try to do a different decrease there, just so you don't get that like stark line there. But I looked as best I could. Like the photo on the pattern, this is what it looks like. You can't really tell because the sample that she knit is in like a really dark gray yarn, so it's hard to see, but I don't know. It's fine. I don't think anyone will notice. But yeah, I wanted to put that stitch marker there so you could see all the progress that I've made this week, and I'm really happy with it. And I wanted to kind of show you, I'm going to take this off now. I wanted to kind of show you what this looks like. So if you don't fold the hat, it looks like this. And so this is a double brim, so it's like knitted, and then you fold it and you knit it together. So this is already double here. And then you can see this like kind of weird part here where this is reverse stockinette. That's so that when you fold it, so we're gonna fold the brim. So the brim is actually like quadruple fabric. Actually, it's triple because it's got the inside, the outside, the inside, and then the actual hat. So it's triple fabric. But you fold it, and so if you were to see any of the like part underneath, it's all in stockinette, and it's not that reverse stockinette. But so this is what it looks like folded, and then let me try it on for you. Yes, I know I'm wearing a tank top and now a knitted hat, a very warm knitted hat at that, but there you go. I have kind of a small head, so I've got quite a bit that kind of like sticks up here, and you can kind of like, I don't know, to me the seams where the decreases are kind of sharp. Like I don't know how to describe it. They're kind of sharp. And so I haven't blocked this yet. And what I'm thinking of doing is I want to seam block it so that hopefully I can get those creases just to like sit a little bit flatter. But there it is. I know it's probably really hard to see with all the light in the background because my yarn stash is right in front of my window, but there it is. I'm really happy with it. I think it's really cute, and I really enjoyed making the pattern. And so yes, I do have like 100 more of these hats planned this fall and winter. So that's maintenance item number 1, is to block this, steam block this. And what I did yesterday, with the hopes of starting my second Oslo hat, was I caked up these yarns. So this is a fingering weight sock yarn, and this is a lace weight Surrey alpaca. And let me show you. Let me see. What I do is I fold the label and stick it in the middle. I want to show you what the label says, but I also don't want to lose the middle of the skein. So there we go. This is the Sheepyshire is the yarn dyer, and the colorway is called Surprise Party. It's in their staple stock fingering weight, which is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. And I actually got this skein in the Mother's Day box that I got from Twice Sheared Sheep. And speaking of that, if you are interested in like an advent calendar holiday countdown box that's not 100% yarn, I would recommend checking out Twice Sheared Sheep. I have a link in the description down below. It's an affiliate link, so if you do click on it and purchase anything from the site, I get a small commission. It doesn't cost you anything extra, it just helps me out. And so I would really recommend their holiday countdown box. It's 25 days of like row counters, stitch markers, cable needles, probably like even more goodies that we don't even know about. I think there's 1 or 2 yarns in there. I don't know, but anyways, the link is down in the description if you're interested, and that's where I got this yarn from. It was in their Mother's Day box. And I just think it's so fun. It's like, I mean, I think the color name Surprise Party really makes sense. I mean, this just looks like a speckled pink, purple, turquoise party, and I love it. And the yarn that I'm holding it with is, this is Sorella yarn Rose Quartz, I believe is what it's called, and it's a lace Surrey. I actually got this from a D-Stash server, so the label is actually incorrect, but I knew that before I bought it. And I thought that I was buying Surrey sock, and turns out it's Surrey lace weight, and Surrey sock is like thicker, like a fingering weight yarn, whereas this is like a lace weight yarn, so this is closer to like the weight of mohair versus a fingering weight strand. Anyways, so last night, as I was preparing to play 2 hours of D&D, I wound up these cakes and I cast on, and it just like did not go well at all. I cast this on like 3 separate times. I had to undo it, rip everything out 3 separate times. First I realized that this is not a fingering weight, so I was like, oh, maybe I need to go down a needle size. So I went down a needle size. Then I realized, oh, my cord length is like too long on the needles that I'm using right now, so I'm gonna switch around the cord length that I'm using. Then I realized, you know, I can't actually use this pattern because these aren't 2 fingering weight yarns held together. So I went on Ravelry, like as I was in the middle of combat in D&D, and I realized that there was a mohair version of this pattern where it is a fingering weight strand and a mohair paired together, which is basically what I have. So I bought that new pattern. I had to switch needle size again and cord length, and basically it just like wasn't working out. I think what I need to do is so the pattern is actually the Oslo Hat. It's called Oslo Hat Mohair Edition, still by Petite Knit. It's basically the exact same pattern. The numbers are just slightly different for how many stitches you need to cast on, and there are actually more sizes. So the regular mohair hat comes in 4 sizes, from baby, kind of child, and then like adult small, which is kind of like the women's size, and adult large. I made the size 3, so this is the like adult small. Honestly, with how small of a head I have, I probably could have gotten away with the like child size, but whatever, we'll see. For this hat, I'm going to be making, well, I was going to be making the child size because this is going to be a gift for a child. And I got the mohair hat version and realized there's like a bunch of different sizes. So I'm going to be making the junior large. There's like a junior small and a junior large. I think it's the 3rd or 4th size in the pattern. Anyways, I think I either need to like use a really long cord to do magic loop, or I'm going to see what size double pointed needles I have. I've never used double pointed needles, but I started thinking last night that maybe I need to knit this on double pointed needles. I just like, none of my cords were like short enough for like all the stitches to go around, and it was really frustrating. So it also calls for a 3mm needle, which is not one of the sizes that I have in my ChowGoo needle set. It goes from 2.75 to 3.25, and I was like, what the heck? So I'm trying to use the 3.25, because typically I have to go up a needle size anyway, so I figured that that would probably be about what I want. So that's kind of the saga that I went through all last night with this hat, is just casting on, you know, 100 stitches over and over and over again, and it was very frustrating. So one of the like maintenance items that I want to do for this is see if I have double pointed needles in a size 3mm or close to, and potentially try to figure out if I want to use those to knit this, or just get my like long interchangeable cable and use that. So that's the story of this. I think the combo is going to be really nice because as I was, you know, casting on over and over again, it looked nice. So hopefully by next week this will actually be cast on and have a little bit of progress so that you can see. All right, cross your fingers, please, that this works out. I was joking with some people on Instagram and I was like, is Mercury still in retrograde? Like, I'm having so many issues with my knitting right now. I don't know. Anyways, okay. A quick update on the champagne cardigan is that there is no update. It's still, I put it right here after the last podcast and haven't touched it at all. So there's no update there. I did think when I was in the office earlier this week, a couple days ago, that I need to keep working on it because I was wearing a black store-bought sweater and I didn't like it. And it's like the only black, like thick store-bought sweater that I have, and I was like, I need to get going on my champagne cardigan so I can wear that instead of this. But that's pretty much all the progress that I've had on that cardigan, was just one thought. One single thought. So if you also have things that you've cast on and haven't made any progress on, there you go. Obviously, you're not alone. I think we all do it. But here is my Oslo sweater. Do I know which is the front and which is the back? Yes, this is the front. It kind of looks the same as it did last week, but you can see my little gummy bear. This is my little pink, well, I'm gonna smash this into the microphone. My little pink gummy bear stitch marker from Rachel is Knitting, her Etsy store. Super cute. I put that on to mark my progress from last week. And we're a good couple inches into the body here, so that's good, that's exciting. I marked on this side, so there's a little bit of waist shaping in this sweater, which is basically where on both sides, oh, that's the back, doesn't really matter, they kind of look the same. On both sides of the sweater, so over here and over here under the armpit, every couple inches you do decreases to bring the body of the sweater like in a little bit. It just kind of gives it a nice shape if you're worried about it being like too oversized and baggy at like the waist and hip area. And so there's like a couple sets of decreases here, and so I marked where that first one is, so you can see there. And then I'm actually using my row counter over here. Woo. I know I've got a lot of stuff going on here. This isn't even all of it, so. But I'm using my row counter to count out like how many more rows I have left until I need to do the next decrease. And I've done 1 out of 3. And then I need to see like how many more rows do I knit or how many more inches do I knit after that until I get to the ribbing, but we're getting close. So how I do this with my row counter, this is also a product from Twice Sheared Sheep, again, link in the affiliate link in the description below. Why does this get, it's all wonky. All the beads are just, there we go. So, what is happening here? Oh, it got caught in a mohair fuzz. Okay, there we go. Anyways, so what I do is all of the row counters, I'm kind of try and show you this as best I can. all of the row counters come with this little charm on it, and this has like multiple reasons, multiple uses that you can use this for. If you're crocheting and you want to use a row counter, this can be like a removable hook to like hook it on to your crochet project. When I'm knitting, what I use it for is like a counter, kind of. So this marks out like how many tens of rounds I have completed and how many tens of rounds I have left to go. So it's on the 2. Right now you can see it's on the 2. So the first loop counts as number 1, the second loop counts as number 2. So this is telling me I have 20 more rows or rounds to knit. And so I'm on, you can see my needle is hooked through number 4 right here. 1, 2, well, hold on, actually it's number 5, because this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, it's on 5. So I'm on the 5th round right now of this set of 10, and I'll keep knitting every round. I move my marker to the next loop. After I get to 0, I move it back up to 1, and then I'll also move my counter. I count down with this, so I'll move it to 1, which means I have 1 more round of 10 to go. I'll knit through the whole marker, 10 rounds, and then it will be time to do my next decrease. So that is how I like to use row counters. They're also just like really nice to use when, like right now, I am just on a sea of stockinette to get this body completed. And you can be knitting and knitting and knitting and knitting and never feel like you're making any progress on like a stockinette body or a sleeve. And so what I like to do is I like to put my row counter on here so that I can at least see visually that I am making progress. If that makes sense. Like I'll know like, okay, I've done another inch after I hit every, 8 rounds or whatever it is, however many rows make up 1 inch for the project you're working on. And there's so many other uses for row counters, like they're so useful. And I have 4 of them now. I actually have some more. You know what? I should have checked the mail before I started filming this, because I have a package coming from Twice Sheared Sheep. They have like odd and even row counters that you can use for flat knitting that I'm going to put on my cardigan. It's probably in my mailbox. We might take an intermission when I get ready to like block my hat and do all my maintenance, and maybe I'll go check the mailbox and see if those are there, because that'd be fun to show. Okay, anyways, that's where we are with that. The maintenance that I need to do for this project is I'm almost out of my first skeins. If you remember, I'm alternating skeins with this one huge skein that I twisted together, the mohair and the fingering weight yarn, and this was from my first 2 skeins. I'm basically almost done, so I need to cake up some new yarn. And as a reminder, the yarn that I'm using for this is Sorella yarn. This is Stellina sock in the colorway Folklore, and this is Mohair, also in the colorway Folklore, from her Taylor Swift collection. I had a couple people comment saying that they loved my gray project, because I took a picture and this yarn kind of looked gray, and at first I wanted to be upset because I'm not a big fan of gray, but then I was like, actually this is really cool, because the Taylor Swift folklore like album art is gray. Like, there's no denying that that is gray. But this yarn, like, sometimes it does look like that light gray. To me, this like reads purple. And that might just be because I love purple and I'm in a big purple phase. Like, it is, yes, a very light purple, but if someone's reading this as like a light purpley gray, I just think that's really cool. So it just made me love this color even more. So anyways, yeah, we're gonna be caking up these two skeins as also part of the maintenance. So you can see we've got a lot going on that I just like, I've been putting off. I actually like didn't knit a couple nights ago, and I was trying to work on the Oslo hat last night. I've just been like putting off caking up these new skeins. So there we go. And then just another update that I wanted to give. Last week I talked about this yarn cake and how I wound together the fingering weight and the mohair cakes, strands, skeins, yarns, I don't know. Pick whatever word makes most sense to you. There's too many words. And one of my friends on Instagram mentioned she had tried this before, and one reason she doesn't do it anymore was because the like yarn elasticity is different for the wool and the mohair. And as she was going through the skein, she was getting like an excess of the mohair for every like, you know, inch or whatever she pulled out of the fingering weight wool yarn. And at that point last week, I hadn't like knit enough to start to see that problem, but I have knit more now, and I totally understand what she is talking about. So I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this at all, but like, you see this amount of like extra yarn of the mohair. This is kind of what I'm dealing with now. This is probably a good like 2 inches of just like extra yarn, and so every time I pull a new like strand, or I pull more of this yarn to use it, I have to like push the extra mohair down. So it hasn't been like too much of an issue, and what I'm considering doing is just like cutting it, and then I can like kind of overlap, or just like, you know, like end using the mohair here, kind of like pick it up as you would like a new strand of yarn, but it would kind of just continue, and then you could just like tie it together in the back of your work. I think that would be like a band-aid type fix. I'm sure if I did that, I would need to do it several more times. I mean, honestly, I probably will need to do it at some point, and I think I will have to do it several more times as we work through this cake, because you can see there's still a lot of yarn left to use. And yeah, so that's just, I think that's just the way it is, especially if you're gonna wind together 2 completely different yarn types. Again, the wool is like stretchier, so as you're winding it, it's like stretching a lot more than the mohair. The mohair is very like, what's the word, like taut? Like, it doesn't stretch very much, it just like is how it is. I don't know. Hopefully you understand what I'm saying, because just rambling on. Okay. So that's it for my whips. I've talked about the maintenance that we're gonna do. You know, I thought this was gonna be a shorter episode, but we're already almost at the 30-minute mark, and I have some acquisitions today that I want to show you. So yeah, I need to find the name of the place that I went to and Instagram was not letting me search my archives earlier. Do you ever go on to Instagram to look at your story archives and it's just blank? Like, why doesn't it load? It's so frustrating. Okay, this is where I went. It was American Craft Weekend at the Antique Gas and Steam Engine Museum in Vista, California. And they had, it's an annual festival that includes a swap meet, a gem and mineral show, which I'll have to tell you about that also later, and a fiber arts fiesta. The fiber arts featured weavers, spinners, dyers, felters, and bobbin lacers. I didn't see any of the felters or bobbin lacers, but I was able to check out the weavers, spinners, dyers, bag makers, and all of the booths that they had there, which was really fun. I took my husband Joel and my stepson with me because the flyer said that there would be kids activities, which there was, but as soon as we got there, they saw the sign for the gem fair and they ran off to go look at the rocks. They both really enjoy gems and rocks, and I'll have to take a video to show you what we came home with. To be fair, I have always wanted one of these, but was never like gonna shell out the money myself. But I did give the approval for my husband to buy it, so man. Anyways, now we have this. But that's okay. So while we were there though, on the fiber art side, I made some purchases. If you remember, I am trying not to buy a ton of yarn right now, just because my stash, as you can see, is very full, and I'm trying to like work through it. Really focusing on this cubby right here first with my fall and winter knitting plans, but I'm not putting myself on a complete and total yarn ban because I think honestly that just makes me want to buy more and then end up buying more. I'm just buying more when I get that feeling like I really need it, or I'm going out to support, you know, a bunch of local people in local small businesses in the San Diego, Southern California area related to my favorite hobby in the whole world. So that's what we did. So, woo! Alright, let me show you what I got. So, first, I have been talking with Kirsten on Instagram for a very long time now, and I finally got to meet her, and she dyes yarn. She is at Lacewing Fiber Co, and I was finally able to also buy some of her yarn. So I got two skeins. This one is called Beholden, and it's a fingering weight sock yarn, 75/25 merino nylon, and I think it's just really fun pink with some like red speckles and some like dark speckles as well. I think this is one of her like D&D monster manual colorways. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what this is. And then I also got this bright pink red, very, very summery color called Azalea, also in the 75/25 base, and I just think this is really fun. This like really reminds me a lot of summer. I think I'll probably use this. Actually, I have like no idea what I'm going to use either of these for, but I thought maybe, you know, if I ever get around to socks again, this would be a really fun like sock contrast color. And this might be a really fun hat. So they're both gonna go in my sock slash hat cubby. So I got those. And then I stopped by this booth that was having a sale. It was buy 3, get 1 free. And I had never heard of them before, so I'm gonna have to go back and follow them all on Instagram. But this is Oink Pigments. Look at this. Look at this beautiful speckled yarn. This is, so, okay, the base is called Nimbus, and it's a fingering weight superwash, 80% superwash, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon. And I got 3 of these, so I think I can make like a really fun sweater or like shirt, short sleeve, maybe long sleeve, depending on what sweater I choose. But I just really, really liked the speckles on these. You can see it kind of like bleeds a little bit on some of them, but really, really pretty. And then it was buy 3, get 1 free, and I loved this. Look at this. Where's my light? Come back. There we go. Look at this. Look at all these pinks and oranges and yellows. It's so pretty. And this is on a different base. This is on Targhee sock. So it's a heavy fingering weight, 90% superwash Targhee, 10% nylon. And this colorway is called Just a Pinch. Did I tell you that this one was called Sting Operation? Sting Operation. Okay. This one's called Just a Pinch. But I love this. It's gorgeous. So again, I don't really have any plans for these, but I couldn't pass them up. You know? It's gorgeous. Okay. So that's all the yarn that I got. And then I got 2 bags. Let me see. Where's, aha. Got a little stitch marker with this bag. So I really only have like this one kind of like smaller project bag. And so I went to the festival just thinking like, I want at least another one. And look what I found. I thought this was super fun. It's like kind of Halloween themed, but not like super obvious, like over the top Halloween themed. It's kind of got those like witchy tarot card vibes. And I just thought it was really cute. And I think I will like want to use this like other times of the year and not feel like it's out of place, you know, in like February or something. But it's got a couple pockets here on the inside. I don't know if you can really see that, and it's just like the perfect size for another hat or, you know, a small, probably shirt, small sweater when it's first starting out. And this is from Slipped Stitch Studios, which again, I had never heard of them before, but they had a lot of really cute bags. And I got a little stitch marker with my purchase, as well as a super cute sticker. This one's holographic. Love that. So that was fun. And then I got one more thing. I got this bag. This is another bag. And look how cute it is. It's like a very like different shape. It's got like a little jewel charm. And when you open it up, I should have taken stuff out. Oh. There's stuff inside I didn't realize was in here. Okay, this is from Karen Bochinski, home of the multiple zippered bag. And it came with a little sample of like Color Street nails, which that's what these are that I'm wearing. But it's got like a bunch of zippers in here. So I thought that this would be like a fun project bag, but I don't know if I can actually fit like a full skein in here. And so I might use this to store like my crochet hooks or other things in here. But I really liked it. I really liked this kind of monkey ape fabric. Monkeys are one of my favorite animals. So, and I liked the pink and green. So that's what really stuck out to me. So yeah, there's 3 zippered pouches in here. Oh, Sewing Machines Plus card. Alright, but yeah, 3 zippered pouches, and then like obviously these all close up, and there's like, you know, the space in between all of them, and then it all closes up in the zipper. So it's super cool. I just wanted it. I was like, I need that. I really like how that looks. So I'm gonna have to figure out what to put in it. If I figure it out this week, I will let you know. Okay? So, oh, 2 more things. I think I told you about the wax and wool candles that I had ordered. They finally came, so I got one that is cinnamon chai. This is like super fall. It smells exactly like cinnamon chai. Here you go, smell it. You got it? Yeah, cinnamon chai. So I'm excited to light this up in the house and have some really nice smells. And then this one is the Celtic Sea that was in collaboration with Explore Knits and Fibers for the Ireland collection. She had a couple left. Wax and Wool had a couple left on their website. Actually, I was shopping on their Etsy, and I purchased one. There you go. Smell. It honestly kind of smells like some men's deodorant, but like the good ones. I don't know if that's a good advertisement or not at all for it, but I like it. I don't think there's any more of these left because they sold the rest when like Ireland launched again, the Ireland collection. But Wax and Wool had a ton of like fall scented candles on their Etsy. I think they have a website too. So if you are looking for like a good fall scented candle, go and check them out. Okay, that is all I have for you today. If you want to stick around while I do some maintenance, please feel free. And hopefully it'll be fun and entertaining. day, and my hat is dry from steam blocking, and I just wanted to show you that like it's a little bit less stiff, especially the like seams, the decreased seams here, and the stitches overall, the like tension looks better, and it just looks great. So I think this is a really great project to steam block versus wet block, because it's really just like evening out that stitch tension, like I said, and making the seams a little like softer and not so rigid. So thanks for watching.